their excavators, and in some instances, they burn them. And there were some members among these miners who raised this concern, and the leadership of both mining associations say they have been receiving some of the complaints from their members across the Ashanti mining district, and that informed their decision to address the press on that.
Hold on, let me speak to Edu Jemfi and come back to you. Edu Jemfi is the Ashanti Chapter Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Small Scale Miners. Mr. Edu Jemfi, so what has been happening with this task force? How do you know that they are not the official task force?
Okay, good morning to you and your co-workers and to your cherished listeners this morning. From our point, Ghana Association of Small Scale Miners, to be precise, Ashanti District, we are not against any effort from government to nip to the back illegal mining in Ghana, because we are all aware of the negative consequences and the cries of the total Ghanaians regarding to this issue. But there has been an observation regarding the trend of operations. Initially, we commended and applauded the government for its plans towards the fight against illegal mining. And he earlier indicated that the concentration is going to be on the red zones, which we all agreed, because we are not giving licenses to operate within these red zones. So if you will recollect, the fight started with the forest reserves and the river bodies, which is very recommendable, because when you bust everything up, you end up making not much impact. Then we come to those who are working on the hinterlands, those who are not working in these red zones. We have realized that there is a lot of operations ongoing now, pockets of operations, and our observation proves that the situation is unregulated, uncoordinated, and too much scattered. In my jurisdiction, I have 5 zones under me, and each zone is a complete district. So I am working with 5 districts. A particular day, you can witness about 3 or 4 operation teams visiting one site with the same purpose. The team will come, you will ask them, they say they are from national. Another one will come, you ask them, we are from region. Another one will come, we are from districts. And our observation is that the situation is giving rise to intimidation and extortion. So our concern is that the government must review how the operation is ongoing. It must be well coordinated and well regulated so that miscreants will not take undue advantage to intimidate and extort from our people. So that has been
it's not even just one group. There are many groups claiming to be working for the state, coming to sites to extort. It's not just one.
Yes, that is our worry. It's not one group. A group will come, they will say, we are from regional police headquarters. Another group will come, we are from district police headquarters. Another, we are from national security. And a whole lot. And we cannot even do away with what the MDF chief executive is doing, Dr. Hannah DCU. At what point did that institution becomes a task force for illegal mining? We have never heard of this in our life. Minerals Development Fund now is leading Galamsey task force. What kind of situation is that? So all that we are calling on the government is to make sure that the operations is well coordinated and well regulated so that people will not take undue advantage of the situation.
All right, thank you for talking to us. Let me come back to Hafiz. Hafiz, so he said that apparently there's even more than one group that's been operating. Has there been any particular incident of a clash that you've reported? The story we are referring to happened in the Western region. Has anything similar happened in the Ashanti region? Do you know?
Well, there has not been any similar issue, except that the last 2 months we heard about the clash at Minehin, which we followed up on, and there was these people who went there claiming that they were a task force. They were a task force from the National Democratic Congress, and they had stormed this mining site to tell them to stop their operations, and that resulted in a clash, and they even bent the vehicle belonging, the miners bent the vehicles belonging to this supposed task force who went there. The Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator says they were going to investigate this matter, but we have not heard anything from them. There were some other reports of some of the task force storming other mining sites within the Adansi area. The Ashanti Region Security Coordinator distanced themselves from his office from that operation. He says he was not aware, and if there's any operation, it has to come through him, and they are aware of some of these instances or these operations. But the concern for the miners, both mining associations, is that these operations are not well coordinated. People just come and tell them they are from national security, they are from the anti-illegal mining task force, and they don't show any proof whatsoever, and their members are not able to question the validity of their claims. So that has been the concern for the miners.
Thank you very much, Hafiz, for that update. Hafiz Tijani is our Ashanti Regional Correspondent. It's 8:02. Let's bring you tech and social media trends. Later, we'll speak to the ministry on what is going on with this. Apparently, there's not just one group, but a number of groups all claiming to be doing anti-galamsey work and doing extortion, and indeed clashing with the official government group that is supposed to do the fighting of galamsey. Now let's get into social media trends.
It's brought to us by Telecel and First Bank Ghana. First Bank is embarking on a journey to reconnect with customers who haven't used their accounts for a while. Would love the opportunity to provide you with a gold standard of banking once again. To reactivate your dormant accounts at First Bank, kindly visit our website or our socials. We have our link in the bio. Click on it and you're good to go. Visit our branches anywhere in the country and we are happy to receive you once again. 0596-921-921 is the number to call. Email is firstsolutions@firstbankgroup.com. First Bank, you first.
And welcoming for the first time for the segment, Edwin Kokufi. Good morning, Edwin.
Good morning, Bernard.
What is trending this morning?
Well, you know how important health is to Ghanaians, the health infrastructure in particular. So chips is trending chips alongside Agenda 111. So over the weekend, the Minister of State in charge of Government Communications, Felix Kwachiofu, announced that government plans to construct 600 community-based health planning and services compounds or chips compounds across the country by the end of 2025. So two
this year.
Yes, this year. So two in each district. And first of all, it's drawn comparisons to the Agenda 111, which was under the previous government. In 2020, the president at the time, Nana Akufo-Addo, said his government would construct 111 health facilities across the country, including 88 that year. Those were not completed or largely uncompleted.
And now you're introducing chips compounds.
Yeah, so people are saying that why won't we finish the ones that were promised by the previous government and started some of them.
Yeah.
Instead of starting a whole new project on health
God.
infrastructure, wasting money possibly and not completing it as well.
So it's led to arguments.
It's led to a lot of arguments online. People
Wow.
are very unhappy. Some people are happy that at least health is being given a major focus under this government, but people are worried about potential waste in terms of finances of the state.
So that's the main one. What else
That's
is
the main
trending?
one. Galamsey
Oh, Lord.
has been trending all weekend because people are worried that the current government, after all the promises before they were elected into office, are not really doing too much in terms of the Galamsey fight. Supporters of the government disagree. They believe that, as the president said recently, they've recaptured 8 out of 9 forest reserves and are working on the last one. But people say Galamsey is still thriving.
Yep.
A lot of people are sharing videos online of the state of the water bodies, of people working there, and they say there's nothing really being done. Over the weekend, the administrator of the Minerals Development Fund, Hannah Bisu, led a select team into
It's
the
actually what
forest.
we're discussing.
Yes.
What role does she have in fighting Galamsey?
Exactly, and people are saying that that is nothing. It's even if they capture a few
Charlie.
people on the site, it doesn't solve the overall problem, because even previous administrations' military efforts didn't work because there was not enough government. They didn't focus enough on the fight. So the Galamsey obviously a big issue as well. The former managing director of Gehog Distilleries, Maxwell Kofi Juma, was picked up by national security operatives. He's being investigated, sources tell us, for alleged financial misconduct, including the unauthorized sale of assets and questionable vehicle acquisitions during his tenure at Gehog. And finally, in the trends, the Club World Cup, a number of games took place. PSG beat Inter Miami. It was 4-0 at halftime. People were wondering how many more goals would come in, but it ended at
Is that
4-0.
Messi's Inter Miami?
Messi's Inter Miami facing his former squad.
Charlie.
So there were a lot of there was a
Is
lot
that
of
the
talk
end
about
of
that.
Messi?
Oh no, not. I don't think so. I think he's built his image as probably the greatest player of all time. One loss in the Club World Cup with a significantly weaker side. It won't affect that reputation. But it wasn't the football that caught the attention. It was during the match between Chelsea and Benfica, which started at 8 p.m. There was a weather warning with 4 minutes to go in the game.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and it was supposed to last for just 30 minutes according to FIFA. But the game ended up restarting 2 hours later.
Oh Lord.
Because every time there's a new lightning strike, a new lightning warning, there are 30 minutes added to the wait time.
As for US and their weather issues.
Yeah, so people are wondering if this is how the Club World Cup is, how bad will it be for the actual World Cup next year?
Oh God.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about how it will affect the enjoyment of the
there
game.
are breaks they take to drink water.
Cooling breaks as
Charlie,
well.
the fans
So-
too are not going.
Exactly.
Basa.
So there are a lot of
But it
complaints
seems to
about
me
the
as if
Club
the
World Cup.
pitches are very big. I don't know. When I watch the games, the pitches look very big. I don't know whether it's my eyes.
Well, there are standard size, but some
Maybe
of
they
them,
are on the side of the large.
yeah, a lot of these pitches are used for the NFL games, the National Football League
Yeah,
games. So
the
they've been
players will get tired
converted.
now.
Yeah, they've been converted into football pitches for this
Yeah,
tournament.
they look very big.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what else is in tech news?
So in tech news, after a week-long delay, Blue Origin successfully launched its new Shepherd rocket. That's Jeff Bezos, of course. The flight carried 6 paying passengers on an approximately 11-minute suborbital journey to the edge of space. And I want to highlight a tech firm in Ghana that's doing good things, Building Bytes.
Building Bytes.
Yes. Over the weekend or on Friday, they hosted an event called Demo Fridays that brought together 6 startups to demo their products, their tech products. And they hosted a panel on how Ghanaian startups are building smart AI. So on the panel, the product leaders were from Haptel, Affinity, and WeWire. So it's an event that tech companies in Ghana should take advantage of to just highlight their tech products, because I don't think Ghanaian tech firms or tech startups get enough spotlights placed on them. So Building Bytes is something that you should
Before you
look
go,
at. Yeah.
I'm surprised you mentioned Jeff Bezos's launch of a new rocket without mentioning his wedding. Is it because he didn't invite you? Charlie, the guy
None of us were
spent
invited.
$55 million
Rents the whole of Venice for this
on a
man.
wedding.
Is that where Sky is?
And you know what's even what makes me happy is that the woman is a journalist. She has to set up a media fund though.
Yeah.
I'm going to send her a letter, dear Mrs. Bezos.
Congrats on your wedding.
having done phase 1 of our project, now phase 2, because Charlie, the divorced, first wife is one of the richest people in the world.
Yeah, right after the divorce.
Yeah.
And this one is 55. I think she has 2 kids or 3.
No, she's a journalist.
Yeah.
So she should set up a media fund to support us.
I mean, whether she stays in the marriage or she leaves, she's going to be wealthy.
No, she should stay. She should stay. Oh my God. I was watching with jealousy. Oh my God, 55 million on a wedding.
I'll tell you.
Hey, then what is left for the rest of the marriage? Charlie.
About 19 private jets. Yeah.
They say she can't pay it, but it's a lie. She can't pay
This
it.
one, there was Dede inside. That's it.
Since 1894, we've witnessed the evolution of a brand and proudly partnered with its people on the path to prosperity. From the ink-stained ledgers of the past to the lightning-fast transactions of today, First Bank has consistently adapted, embracing innovation while cherishing the legacy of our heritage and making giant strides across the globe. It's not just about banking, it's about enabling your success generation after generation. Our legacy defined the past, shaped the present, and in 2094, we will still be fostering financial security and stability for future generations. We are helping to create a future where the possibilities are infinite, the opportunities borderless, and where the world looks up to Africa. Let's awaken the giant in you. You first. First Bank.
There is small money, there is big money, and there is too much money. Telecel Too Much Money promo is here. Dial *500# to opt in. In the Telecel Too Much Money promo, you can win 100 Ghana cedis cash in the daily draws, 20,000 Ghana cedis in the weekly draws, and 1.2 million Ghana cedis in the grand draw. That's 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Simply reload airtime to earn points to stand a chance to win. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to opt in now for the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Telecel, connecting energies.
This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
World #1 Brown Hire LED TV and home appliances got mega up to 5,000 cities price drop at all Electromat showrooms. This time to shop higher air conditioner, LED TV, refrigerators, washing machine, chest freezer, range of appliances at unbeatable prices on every purchase, exclusively at showrooms. Rush now while stock lasts. Check our website and social media pages for more details. Electromat, your world of electronics.
Ocho, it's 3 a.m. What's now?
Ya tisubiomo, ya tisubio.
Ocho, not again. It's 4 a.m. What's now?
Sorry. Last year was Yatisubium. This year, crowd, we've gone lower. Yasaya Tiso. I'm back with good news. Amazing news. I've been so cool. SG Ghana loans are back with even lower interest rates. If you're a salaried worker, whether you're on CAGD payroll, work with an SG Ghana listed institution, or already bank with SG Ghana, this is your time. Whether it's completing your dream home, paying school fees, or handling other personal needs, SG Ghana has the perfect loan for you. Walk into any SG Ghana branch from now till September 2025 and ask about Yasaya Tisu Loans promo. Let's help you get things done. You can also call 0302-214-314 for more details. Terms and conditions apply. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
Rise and shine. It's another day to stay on point. Toast is spread, it's still on point. Watch it spread it all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Watch it spread,
It's still on point.
for your bread,
It's still on point.
for your toast.
It's still on point.
It's yummy delicious.
It's still on point.
Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
For your toast, it's still on
spread. Delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Options may bring. Convenience may bring. Open up a world of financial convenience with Solace. Download the Solace Finance app from the Play Store or App Store today. Solace
Is your home and office protected against crime? Trelidor, Africa's strongest burglar-proofing, provides fixed and sliding burglar-proof solutions for homes, shops, and offices. Trelidor has given Ghanaians peace of mind for over 20 years with the highest international standards backed by a 5-year warranty on materials and workmanship. Choose Trelidor. Call 0561 24 24 24 or simply Google Trelidor for more information. Trelidor, Africa's strongest burglar-proofing.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Show. 16 minutes past 8, Citi Breakfast Show. Don't forget, later this morning, EdTech Monday comes your way. This morning, we are looking at teachers in the tech era, training educators for digital success with Anyele Pebi, Edward Akani, William Pius Akako, and Richard Oseyenim. That's at 9. It's part of the EdTech Conversations initiative of the MasterCard Foundation with support from Meltwater Entrepreneurial School of Technology. All right, a couple of quick announcements,
Yes.
then I do more on this mining matter.
Yes, so to all registered business owners, company directors, secretaries, and partners of incorporated partnerships in Ghana, there will be no extension. This is the Office of the Registrar of Companies. It's informing you that today is the deadline. If you've not renewed your filing of annual returns and the renewal of your business names, then there will be a penalty of 1,000 Ghana cedis in addition to your filing fee. So you are urged to do the needful. You know what to do. However, be minded that we do not ask for Momo online. We don't operate Momo account at all. Call us or WhatsApp Telegram if you need more details. 059-952-5774. Follow us on socials, ORC Ghana. ORC is a trusted partner for business. And if you're looking for a smarter, faster, and more secure way to manage your finances, look no further. With the award-winning Fab mobile and internet banking solutions, banking is now easier, faster, and more convenient. Join the Pepple Bank today and feel the Pepple experience where convenience meets innovation. First Atlantic Bank is 2 times Digital Bank of the Year in a row. First Atlantic Bank is refreshingly different.
17 minutes past the hour of 8. I'll be speaking to the Ministry of Lands shortly. A couple of quick messages. Kindly help me wish my loving, caring, amazing husband, Mr. Selassie Ajeti of Luspa GR, a happy birthday on this special day. May God continue to bless and favor you like never before. Have a wonderful day from your wife, Mrs. Pamela Ajete, and your son, Jaden Sedem Ajete.
Okay. Another one here. Happy 40th birthday to my beautiful wife, Agnes Osomia Osei, angel in human form. Ama, 40 years is an incredible milestone, and the kids and I celebrate the amazing mother and wife you are. You light up our world, and we love you more than words can say. Happy birthday, Ama, from Kingsley and the kids. And Magdalene Wepia Williams is wishing a belated happy 50th birthday to an amazing big brother, Hendrix Glover of Stanbic Bank. 50 never looked this good. Your strength, wisdom, and grace continue to inspire. I wish you more wins, peace, and purpose in this golden chapter. Keep being amazing, bro.
A few more happy birthday to Antoinette, coming from your dad, Samo Oyete. And to Mrs. Sharon Ofe Bohini from Bohini. It says, many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. God bless you always from all of us. All right, so while this confusion is going on within the anti-Galamsey space, the Ghanaian Times reports that the government has unveiled a National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, a centralized body mandated to coordinate the fight against illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Kofi-Buah, with the assistance and collaboration of the Interior Minister, Alhaji Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, and Defense Minister Dr. Mani Buama, inaugurated the secretariat in Accra on Thursday. The newly established intelligence-led secretariat will serve as the central command for all anti-Galamsey operations nationwide, addressing long-standing challenges of uncoordinated enforcement efforts. Now, this NIMOS is a culmination of resources and efforts across several agencies, the Ministries of Interior, Defense, National Security, Narcotics Control Board, and the National Investigations Bureau. The Secretariat will also rely on credible data to execute its mandate, ensuring that no discretionary or uninformed actions are taken that could compromise operational integrity or government credibility. So this seems long overdue, because beyond the many groups, we also now told that the Chief Executive of the Minerals Development Fund is also doing some media sort of led Galamsey fight
stuff like that.
And it's created a whole confusion. Let's get to the Ministry of Lands quickly and do a brief interview on what the real situation is and who is in charge of the Galamsey fight. But just to give you more information on this thing that was launched, the Minister for Land says there's need for a coordinated approach to the Galamsey fight. He vowed to support the Secretariat's operation without fear of favor, and the task force or the Secretariat's mandate includes coordination activities of state security agencies and on Galamsey, developing field strategies, conducting tactical operations to combat illegal mining, enforcing mining and environmental laws in consultation and coordination with established state institutions and organizations. So other ministers also spoke at the event. I'm not sure whether this is in reaction to what's happened over the weekend.
So if I'm getting
this, I agree with the minister that there should be a coordination of the fight against Galamsey. I think that there should, the task forces should be coordinated and streamlined properly, because there doesn't appear to be clarity on even who constitutes the task force. There should be some transparency in which law enforcement agencies constitute the task force, the specific task forces the government is talking about, because it appears that now there are parallel groups, identifying themselves as task forces as well. And now they are creating business or illegal business.
It's a good business.
Exactly.
So an illegal task force purportedly fighting illegal mining.
That's the point.
That's an interesting one.
Very, very interesting.
So if you look in the Daily Gist, there's some detail provided here that miners revealed that in the Ashanti region, task force, the illegal ones, have been storming licensed mining sites, engaging in intimidation and extorting large sums of money from the operators. Now, they allege that millions of cedis have been taken under duress from miners trying to work within the legal framework. And in light of these developments, the miners are urging President Mahama to establish something, which is what we are seeing now.
Mawusi Mawenyefia is the Director of Communications at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. He joins us to respond to these matters. Good morning, madam. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Bernard.
How alarmed is the ministry over reports that unauthorized persons purporting to be part of Ghana's national security have been storming sometimes legal mining sites and extorting money from people, and also clashing with the legitimate organizations dealing with illegal mining and leading to a lot of confrontation? We've heard there was a big one in the Western region. How alarmed is the ministry over these developments?
Good morning, Bernard. Good morning to you and your team, and good morning to your listeners. So, Bernard, this situation is very alarming, and for us as a ministry, we are very concerned. So let me start from the top. When the government took over at the beginning of the year, we received several briefings from the ministry with regards to the state of mining in Ghana. Our water bodies polluted, our forest reserved, some were classified as red zone. And so immediately we decided, look, let's prioritize and tackle those issues head on. And so we started with the forest reserves, trying to reclaim, especially the red zone, and then also looking at the water bodies, ensuring that we're able to keep them, keep these miscreants away from our waters, to keep the waters safe. Now, in collaboration with the Ministry of Defense, we started, these raids. And after every raid or after every scoop, we do an assessment. And we realized that it was important that we have a command center, one secretariat that, coordinates all the efforts that we are putting together, particularly towards the fight. And so we had a collaborative discussion with the Ministry of Defense, with the Ministry of Interior, to come up with a framework that works, so that we're able to set up the secretariat. Now, before the official launch, which we had on Thursday, the team was already conducting some of these raids, and basically it's very intelligence-led. It's an interagency network. We have resources from the Ghana Police, from the Army, from National Security, all part of the platoons that conduct these exercises. Now, like I said, before the official launch, we had they were conducting some raids, and last week or two, on the 19th of June, if I recall, they had, as part of the exercises, they were in the Western region, and as the team were working on their operations, there was a Chinese syndicate along the Ankobra that they had arrested about 11 Chinese people and handed them over to the Ghana Immigration Service. And then we got these reports that there was another team that was there on the ground claiming to be from National Security, led by one individual identified only as Ben. And so immediately a call was placed to the head of National Security, and we got the information he was not aware of the team that had been deployed. And so immediately the minister was also informed, and then he made a few calls, and that situation was averted. But what we are saying is, we are working with the security agencies. This is not a Ministry of Land and Natural Resources task alone. We're working with the security agencies to say, we have a command center, the National Anti-Illegal Mine Operations Secretariat, or what's known as NIMO. That is a command center coordinating all efforts around these anti-illegal mining operations, so that no individual has locus to go into any place to say, I am the head of an institution, or I am coming from this institution, and I want to conduct a raid. Everything needs to go through NIMOS. We have the backing of the president on this. The Minister of Defense is on this. The Minister of Interior is on this. The head of the National Security is on this. We are also bringing in the Narcotics Control Board, because we find out that when we go into these areas, you often find lots of illegal drugs. And so that's a coordinated effort by the government. And every effort towards this anti-illegal operation needs to be coordinated by
Okay,
NIMO.
so should I take it that this formation of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat is a direct response to the confusion we're seeing on the ground?
Yes, it is.
What has been done to the people who were illegally trying to operate? Because we are told one group even clashed with the legitimate group in the Western region. We told the minister called to intervene. But beyond the intervention, has any action been taken? Because clearly that's a criminal act, is it not?
It is a criminal act, and you know that we don't effect arrest. So we have handed over to the Minister of Interior has been briefed on the situation. The National Security Coordinator has been briefed on the situation, and they are taking it up. And in the coming days, those individuals will be identified and sanctioned.
How will legitimate miners identify the so-called NIMOS?
So as part of the, and like I said, it's an interagency network. We are not working alone. NIMOS is working with the local communities. We are engaged the MPCs. We are engaging the regional ministers. We're going to have an identification system for them. And you see, because it's intelligence led, before they go out into any way. So, for example, we sit in the office and we have reports of individuals coming in. Because, Bernard, look, everybody is concerned about the state of illegal mining. And so we have individuals coming in to come and give us reports on some activities, illegal activities going on here or there. We just don't get up and go. The team investigates, they verify to ensure that the information that we have received is actually accurate before they go into the how they call it, onto the field. But before they do, they coordinate with the local authorities within the enclave. So before they go into any area, they would have informed the chief, they would have informed the MMDC, they would have informed the regional minister that this we are coming in. We have
but that's fine. But you see,
in.
Mausi, what I'm trying to get at is, so for example, what is the name of the head of NIMOS? Is there an operational lead whose name we can?
An operational lead. I'm not allowed to disclose the name at this point.
Okay.
There is an operational lead, but like I said, they're going to have identifications, and the operational lead gets in touch with the local authorities in the area before they go into that space.
Okay, will they be doing the operations with the media? Will they be going with camera people?
Occasionally. But you see, beyond the how do you call it? The that you're doing, we are clear in our minds that we also don't want these people to be compromised. So they are going to be deployed. They are going to have things like body cams, so that when we go, we also see real time what they're doing, so that they are not compromised and they are not doing what we've not asked them to do. So this occasionally they will go with the media. The ministry also has a media team that would also report real time as and when the news comes to us, so that you guys in the media are also aware of what is going on, and then you can report real time what is happening on the ground.
What is the composition of the NIMOS? I mean the agencies involved. Which agencies are collaborating here?
So we have the Ghana Army. We have some officials from the National Security. We have officials from the Ghana Police Service, and then we have the Narcotics Control Board, and then the National Security as well. And each of these, so for each platoon, we have platoons that are being deployed across about 6 regions. And for each of these platoons, we have a composition of all these agencies that I have mentioned. And each of them have clear tasks on what exactly they're supposed to do. So whereas one agency is picking the intel and verifying, another agency is conducting the raid, another agency is effecting the arrest and following through with prosecution. So it's a culmination of efforts across all of these agencies.
Are the legitimate small-scale miners and medium-scale miners aware of the operations of the NIMOS and the personalities involved? That's question 1. Question 2, so if they see somebody on their site tomorrow morning claiming to be from NIMOS, what question should they ask the person to be sure that the person is working for government?
Okay. So first of all, that is not operating on the side of the what we are focusing on now is who are conducting mining activities illegally. As a Ministry of
Mausi, we're having a bit of difficulty with your line, so I suspect it's where you are located. So if you can probably relocate briefly. Yes, it's been quite difficult. So if you can take that answer again, thank you.
So I was saying that as a Ministry of, is this clear now?
It's much better. Go ahead.
As a Ministry of Land and Natural Resources, we are not asking people not to mine. What we are saying is, don't go and pollute the water body that feeds the community. Don't go into the forest into the enclave in the forest that we have designated as reserves. Okay, if you are a legitimate small-scale miner, nobody is coming into your enclave or your concession to come in that raid. That is not going to happen. But if you are legitimate, you have a license to operate and you are conducting illegal activities, then we can cover you. But no, NIMOS is not going to go into concessions that are for legitimate small-scale miners. And for security reasons, we are not disclosing faces the operators, but we have set the command center. I'm going to put out the number, and then if you have any information, you can reach out to us. And before we actually come into the enclave, we will communicate so that you are aware that these people will be coming into that area to come and conduct patients. We are not going to patients to go and harass anybody.
All right, maybe you may want to share that number with us so that if there's
I will send it to you.
Yeah, we've been having some difficulty here in the fast movement. We apologize for that, but thank you for talking to us. So Mausi Mawinyefia is the Director of Communications at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. We will apologize. We had a difficult line, but my understanding of what she's saying is that there's been a new secretariat set up called the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, which is in response to the situation we just described. And it's an interagency institution which will work with local communities to alert them and to inform them before they come and do anything. So there's a number that is going to put out that if you are within any mining area and you see a group operating and you want to be sure, you can call that number to check. I guess that's what it is.
Yes, and she also added on the agency constitution that there's the national security, there's the Ghana Police Service, there's the
Ghana
Army,
Armed Forces,
and there's also NACOB.
Police as well.
Yes, I did not hear the Forestry Commission because per their law, it's the fundamental mandate of theirs is to protect the forest reserves. So
I didn't hear that as well. I don't know whether she missed it or whether they are not part. But maybe, I don't know. Well, what are your thoughts? Send us comments 054-998-6996.
So what becomes of the illegal anti-tax force persons who have actually taken monies or destroyed some equipment of some of the legal mines? How are we going to deal with
Well, she says that they as the ministry have handed over to the security officials. We don't have any evidence of that, and we don't know whether they will be paraded to show us, because the story is that these are highly connected people. So they to have that brazen bravado to actually attack a legitimate body. They obviously believe that they have some power. So, and all the papers are saying that the president and the minister must act. So the suspicion is that people feel that these guys may even be above certain people. I think that if they are known, they should be exposed so that we all know who they are for what they are. And I also think we need more clarity on what this new NIMOS is about.
Exactly.
Will they wear a specific uniform? How can we know that they are the right people? There's a lot of things that needs to be clear.
And how will the authority not be usurped, as we've already seen happening now?
That is the question. Yeah. All right, so let's do a few quick announcements before we continue. Don't forget, we have EdTech Monday at 9 o'clock for you this morning.
That's right. And if you're looking for a little more in life without spending more, I get it. Every city counts. That's why I want to share something that's made a big difference. The Absa Bapa account is designed for people like you. You work very hard. You deserve more for less. With the Absa Bapa account, you get a free GH Link card, access to loans up to 50,000 cedis when you need help, high interest on savings, free SMS alerts to track every peso you spend, and seamless mobile and online banking as well. The best part is it's very simple to open. So if you're looking for more value, more peace of mind, and more control over your money, then Absa Abapa is just the account for you. Open your account today and get more. T's and C's apply. Your story matters. Absa. Now, Alpha Delta Pharmacy is Ghana's first drive-through pharmacy and is pleased to announce that it will run its regular 24 service all throughout the 4th July weekend. Enjoy your drive-through service at the Ring Road branch, where you would be served from the comfort of your car. Alpha Delta Kolebu branch will also run its usual 24-hour service, while Alpha Delta Laboni branch will open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. All Alpha Delta branches offer pickup or delivery services, so please call us 055 1400999. Alpha Delta Pharmacy wishes all cherished clients a very happy Republic Day weekend. So get ready for a game changer, all you SMEs. We are introducing the Yellow Biz, our new multi-service bundle with everything you need for smarter business solutions. This is an all-in-one package. It consists of 4G plus router with 10 gigabyte of free data, Microsoft Office 365, WebWiz, and Unicom service. All these are geared to give you access to advanced productivity tools, powerful online presence, and superior customer experience to optimize your operations. Just call 100 100 or 0244 30 8111. Email us mtnbusiness.gh@mtn.com. Stay ahead of the competition. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for meaningful business ownership opportunities? Do you have a dream to provide water in a more sustainable way? Worry no more. Partner with Jibu through our franchise network. With 50,000 Ghana cedis, you can receive the equipment, training, and support needed to launch your own business. Purifying and selling affordable, refillable drinking water. Let the dream become a reality. We have an exciting offer for new customers and businesses. We provide free bottles and dispenser machines for corporate businesses. Want to start smaller? You can also become a Jibu distributor or reseller in your area. Join the movement and start your journey toward a better life. For orders and inquiries, visit our website www.jibuco.com.gh or call 0302 528 669 or 0209 845 817. Jibu, a better life.
All right, so the ministry has sent the number for NIMOS.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm going to put it in public, but if anybody in the mining community has an issue with some people who are doing illegal mining, I think I should probably put it out.
I think you should, because she did indicate it was a command center.
So it's 0303
Okay.
982 151. 0303 982.
Is it 151?
Hold on.
Just give us,
No,
some.
0303 982 151. So that's the number to call if you want to ascertain or report or follow up or find out or do lapo.
But just a caution, please do not bug them with needless calls, as this may interfere with the efficiency of their work.
That's very true. There's a whole problem with
Prank calls.
I think the government needs to get its act together on Galamsey. I really think the rhetoric prior to election is not being matched by the necessary clarity and consistency. There are sprinkles of things happening. Blue water guard here today, this and that. I think there needs to be a complete repeal of LI 2462.
Yes.
This NIMOS better get working quickly. You cannot allow people to mine in forest reserves and expect that, you will have distraction. Yes, you've said 8 out of the 9 forests have been cleared. Why are people even mining in forest reserves in the first place? That LI was dead on arrival and you supported its repeal. So why are you now telling us you want to amend it? Okay. Follow the money. You still keep arresting the low people and then you leave the big shots, and then you're deporting foreigners. I mean, if a Ghanaian goes to sin in Thailand, would he be deported? He will be prosecuted.
That's
if a Ghanaian
total failure of the rule of law.
And the Minister of Interior is supporting this, like, we'll just deport them. I don't know how that became government policy. So you deport people using state resources who are destroying your forest. You consider Galamsey terrorism. That's what the minister said. If a terrorist is caught in the country, are they deported? Is that how you treat terrorists? Are you just using the word because of rhetoric? Honestly, there's a lot that now we are seeing people enter forest reserves, enter legitimate mining sites, and attack people in the name of being task forces. Criminality, right? So the ministry, beyond the plenty stories in the newspapers today, they really need to get their act together.
And I think the anti-Galamsey coalition should not relent on the resistance towards their demand for the repeal of LI 2462.
Yes.
I think at the heart of the problem is that LI, which permits, mining activities in forest reserves. That even goes against the Constitution.
Yeah.
I cannot understand why there's no legal basis for the LI. Beyond the amendment taking the power away from the president to do that.
Seriously.
You still permit mining in about 90% of the forest reserves, and that's a threat to our existence.
Bernard, in your most recent interview with Sami Jemfi, Gold Board's chief executive, he did mention that he assured.
Everybody I've interviewed in government, except the environment minister, and possibly the majority leader believes the LI should go.
Yeah.
So I think there needs to be some proper internal coordination. When I interviewed Samuel George, he says the LI should go. Sami Jemfi, LI should go. Everybody, but when I interviewed the environment minister, who, by the way, indeed, when I interviewed the minister
Government
for lands,
communications, even
Felix Kwati said the LI would go. I'm told the AG thinks the LI should go. The minister for lands agreed the LI should go, although he was dithering. The minister for environment, under whose jurisdiction the LI came, seems to have a different view, that the repeal is good enough. So I think that
there's an article. Sorry to butt in,
Yes,
but there's
yes.
an article by my senior at the bar, my boss Clement Akapam on Citi news.com, explaining what is wrong with the amendment. I think it makes a good read.
Maybe if you can pull it, we can bring some highlights to listeners shortly. But let me do some quick announcements as I get ready for my next segment. GSTV has performed. You spoke and we heard.
Right.
And we have basically upgraded those who make payments on time. So if you pay your subscription today, you get an instant upgrade onto the next higher package. Enjoy the FIFA Club World Cup, Best of Drama, awesome entertainment for kids, reality shows, novellas, epic Ghanaian talent, family fun, and best live sport. Pay today using *759# or any of our other payment options. This promo is until 31st July.
Okay.
Terms and conditions apply. DSTV is your home of entertainment. Give your eyes the best treat and do so by visiting Roberts & Sons Opticals. Now we are at Adenta, we are at Weja, Adabraka, Osu Dankwa, Tema, East Legon, Cove Town or Kofredia, Kumasi, and we now have a new ultramodern Roman Ridge branch for comprehensive eye care, 100% original unbeatable products for adults and children, providing service to members under all the major health insurance schemes, including Nationwide Mutual Health, Premier, Metropolitan, Cosmopolitan, Apex, GAB, ACE Medical, Acacia, and more. Call Roberts & Sons 0501 519 111 or go to robertsandsonsoptical.com or go to Facebook and Twitter at Roberts & Sons Limited for more information. Now, if you're an SME cooperative or associate in the cashew oil palm industry, apply for the DPP matching grant under the Ghana Private Sector Competitiveness Program 2. This is a collaboration between the governments of Ghana and Switzerland, implemented by NIRAS and ProForest. This grant supports innovations in processing, market access, product development, and skills training. Priority is given to women and youth-led enterprises and inclusive businesses. Application deadline 11 July. You can go online gpscp2.com to apply, and you may join the webinar through our website to learn more. And the webinar is Wednesday, the 2nd of July at 10 a.m. We invite people in agribusiness, in cashew and oil palm associations, cooperatives and processors, women and youth-led enterprises to apply for this very important program. We'll be right back with more. Stay with us.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Hey, Akos, you know we have been friends since childhood, and we always tell each other everything.
Oh, Cynthia, I know that, and that is why you are my best friend.
We even eat together, and I have spare keys to your room. I also know your phone password.
Cynthia, don't I also know your phone password?
Yes, so, but what about your Momo PIN?
Hey, no way.
Indeed, Akos, your Momo PIN is your secret. Do not share your PIN for any reason or give your PIN to someone to send cash on your behalf. Davida, never give out your PIN or OTP as a means of claiming a so-called promotional prize one. Your PIN is like your toothbrush. It only belongs to you. Stay alert.
MTN.
World number one Brown Higher LED TV and home appliances got mega up to 5,000 cedis price drop at all Electromat showrooms. First time to shop higher air conditioner, LED TV, refrigerators, washing machine, chest freezer, range of appliances at unbeatable prices on every purchase, exclusively at showrooms. Rush now while stock lasts. Check our website and social media pages for more details. Electromat, your world of electronics.
Hey,
So what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It'd be very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement. Unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
Charlie, where are you?
Bossman, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Walwale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Massa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the game of choices. Listen with rapt attention. Round 1, question 1. Elevator or stairs?
Stairs.
Now the second question. Less than 4 hours or at least 6 hours of sleep at night?
At least 6 hours of sleep.
The last question. Yomi yogurt or...
Yomi yogurt, of course.
Oh, I'm not done.
No need. That's my choice. Yomi yogurt.
Life is full of choices. Always remember that the choices we make today shape our tomorrow. Whether it's a morning start, a midday snack, or a dessert, our delicious Yomi yogurt is here to nourish you. Yummy, a nourishing choice. This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine waking up to serenity every day, surrounded by nature's beauty and luxury at your fingertips in a gated estate you can be proud to call your home. Welcome to Western Villas, located at Ai Mensa, where our stunning homes redefine elegance. At Western Villas, each home is a masterpiece, designed with precision and love. From swimming pool, gym, playground, beautiful landscaped gardens, and private balconies, making every day feel like a retreat. We also have executive plots for sale at McCarthy Hill, strategically located and offer unparalleled views, easy access to amenities, and endless possibilities for executive living. With just 5% deposit, you can reserve your space. Contact us today to learn more about our luxury homes at Ai Mensa or executive plots at McCarthy Hill. Call us now on 0536 502295 or visit www.westernvillas.com for more information.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Eight minutes to 9 on the City Breakfast Show. So just to remind us of what the article about the airline says and why the airline needs to go in its entirety, correct?
Yes. So I'm going to attempt a summary of the article. This article is dated March 24. Written by Clement Akapam. Sorry. And I'm going to jump the introduction and come to the heading, Why Revoke and Not Amend? 1. And then I will capture 4 major points that the author Clement makes. So why revoke and not amend? 1. LI breaches Constitution on Natural Resources Governance. The 1992 Constitution of Ghana places the regulatory responsibility of natural resources as well as coordination-related policies specific to the Natural Resource Commissions established either by the Constitution or by Parliament. The Environmental Protection Agency is not the designated Natural Resources Commission.
So in this case, he's thinking it has to be the Forestry Commission.
Yes.
So that's one.
So the second sentence I'll just pick as well. The LI 2462 effectively grants the EPA the authority to supervise and control the utilization of mineral resources within forest reserves. This is encroachment on the mandate of the Minerals and Forestry Commissions and exceeds the scope of the EPA's designated functions in its establishment legislation.
That's number 2.
I'll go to point, no, that's still number 1. That was
Is
just
it?
the second sentence.
Under point number 1.
Yes, so point number 2 is that the LI 2462 lacks sound legislative basis. So, flowing from the EPA's lack of capacity to regulate, which is constitutional, the utilization of natural resources, the legislative basis for passing the LI is also questionable. The LI on mining in forest reserves is said to have been passed by the Minister of Environment, Science and Technology, pursuant to a so-called power granted under Section 62(1) of the repealed Environmental Protection Agency Act 1994, Act 490. It is worth stating that Section 62(1) of the EPA Act 1994 that empowers the minister responsible for environment to make regulations generally for, among other things, to give effect to the EPA Act. A legislative instrument must have its basis in legislation, meaning that the Constitution or a statute must explicitly grant the power to make regulations, LI 2462, and this lacks the clear authorization, making any attempt by an administrative officer or body to create regulations appear as an unconstitutional assumption of the legislature's role.
So this is under point 2.
This is under point 2. So let's go to point 3. LI introduces a dysfunctional governance structure. A feature of LI 2462 is that the establishment of a mining in forest reserve committee to ensure the effective and efficient management of mining, exploration and exploitation. It is composed of a liaison group that facilitates effective exploration and mining, a steering committee that oversees and approves their budget, ensuring the implementation of exploration and mining policies within forest reserves. The question is, has this multi-tiered governance structure helped in any way to protect our forest reserves from illegal activities we see?
N-O.
Res ipsa loquitur.
Number
4. The LI provides no new environmental standards. The so-called environmental standards in LI 2462 are standards that the EPA is able to enforce with its EPA EIA, that's the Environmental Impact Assessment Regulation. The requirement that mining activities should not cause unwarranted destruction is a standard the EPA can enforce and demand mineral rights holders working anywhere in Ghana to address in their EIAs. Similarly, the requirement in LI 2462 that such activities like excavation and drilling should be confined to safe areas with adequate safeguards and situating ancillary mining facilities outside the boundaries of forest reserve can also be maintained in the EIA permit. The EPA does not need LI 2462 to perform these functions. And then he lists other issues with the LI. So you can grab this article. It's an informative read.
What's it called again?
It's written by Clement Akapam,
Yes.
and it's why LI 2462 needs to be repealed and not amended.
In summary, but the direct or the specific headline is near your boy to revoke or amend LI on mining in forest reserves. Clement Kojo Akapam writes.
Okay, that's one. Right.
All right, a couple of quick comments on this matter before we move to education.
Good morning, Bernard and team.
Morning.
Please, are we really fighting this illegal mining thing?
Ask again. Oh.
There are fabrications of these Shamfine machines by the main Accra Kumasi Road at Tenyinem as we speak.
Oh.
They are not hiding to fabricate these machines in the bush. We allow them to do it nicely by the roadside without any deterrence. Then we follow them to the bush to pretend to be destroying them. Nation wreckers are on the loose. Thank Thank you, Barissa Bani, and that from Tantra Hills.
Thank you for that message.
Kofi from Amasaman says both the problem and the solution regarding Galamsey madness lie with the chiefs. No one can go into any community and start digging without the approval of a chief of a community. Government must design an incentive system for all the chiefs in the mining communities and engage them passionately to lead the fight. Without a monetary incentive for the chiefs, it won't work because the amount of money these chiefs make from the illegal miners before granting them approval is humongous.
Wonderful comments. When we come back, EdTech Monday is big. Teachers in the tech era training educators for digital success. This morning, as technology reshapes education, teachers are at the forefront of integrating digital tools to enhance learning outcomes. Today, we speak to 4 people in that space to answer a number of questions in adopting EdTech tools to train the next generation of learners. EdTech Monday is brought to you by the MasterCard Foundation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
On the go, night or day, PBL app is the easiest way. Bank secure, bank with ease. Right at your fingertips, bank is a breeze. PBL app making banking so clear. Anytime, anywhere, we're here. Safe, secure, banking for you. PBL app, simple and true.
Welcome to the future of banking. The Prudential Bank mobile app. Bank secure anytime, right from your phone. Access your accounts 24/7. Perform instant transactions. Pay bills. Link mobile money wallets. Scan and pay with GHQR. Manage your cards. Make seamless GIP interbank transfers. All with ease. No more banking hours. Take control and app your banking. Experience simple, secure and convenient banking. Download the PBL mobile app now. PBL mobile app. App your banking.
As a busy professional, I struggled with back and neck strain from long hours at my desk. To improve my focus, productivity, and well-being, I sought expert advice from the CEO of Expert Office Furnish.
After being in the furniture business for 25 years, I can tell you 2 things that causes back pain in the workspace: bad sitting posture and not sitting on a good chair. I recommend to you the Genevia Beeper chair, the chair that helps you to sit right. When you don't sit right, it beeps for you to be able to sit right. The next will be the Enjoy chair. It takes every body shape and size. Buy a chair that will support your back and give you that comfort to be able to deliver on your job.
Expert Office Furnish offers molding furniture for comfort, productivity, and style. From seating to customized solutions, plus interior decoration services, they've got it all. Find them off the Atomic Hills Estate Road in Ashonman or call 0571 386602 on Facebook and Instagram at Expert Office Furnish.
World number 1 Bronhire LED TV and home appliances got mega up to 5,000 cities price drop at all Electromat showrooms. This time to shop higher air conditioner, LED TV, refrigerators, washing machine, chest freezer, range of appliances at unbeatable prices on every purchase. Exclusively at showrooms. Rush now while stock lasts. Check our website and social media pages for more details. Electromat, your world of electronics.
Oh, right into the pond.
Of course, a pro indeed, Andy.
Another message? Oh, wait, not again.
Why, what's wrong?
We've exceeded our fuel budget by 15,000 Ghana cedis this month. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, that's crazy. Just for a few vehicles?
Exactly. We spend so much on fuel, but I don't even know where it's going.
I had the same problem until Instroma GPS saved me. Their fuel monitoring system stops fuel theft and wastage, saving me thousands, bro.
Really?
Yeah. It paid for itself in months. Plus, I get monthly reports that track every drop of fuel. Hey, I know we lose God.
Oh.
Take control of your fuel costs today. Get a free demo of Instroma's fuel monitoring system. Call 024-676-7662 now. Instroma GPS. Your choice. Your savings.
Burna Boy, Trevor Noah, Black Coffee, Chimamanda the writer, Febe Mugugu the fashion designer, And many more young African icons didn't get where they are by following mainstream paths. They did things differently. Say yes to doing things differently. Say yes to the creative person within you, the maker, innovator, entrepreneur. Chart a new path, learn new skills. Globally recognized by the American Welding Society and Pearson's BTech. So whether in Ghana or abroad, you will shine. Say yes to DTI, a learning experience that is next level. Go to dtiafrica.com or call 054 169 3534.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
All right, so welcome to another edition of EdTech Monday, brought to you by the Mastercard Foundation in collaboration with Meltwater Institution, a MEST, that's what we call it, for entrepreneurship and training. Of course, the City Breakfast Show hosts this the last Monday of every month. Today we're talking about teachers in the tech era, training educators for digital success. It's a big panel indeed. So what's the context? Well, you can't deploy EdTech tools if those who teach don't know how to use them. I think that's the basic premise, right? So how do we equip teachers with the skills and tools to thrive in the digital era, to ensure that our kids and our learners get the best of what is on offer? So who do we have on the program? Anyele Pebi, founder, CEO, Pebi Cups, is a master, and she's also a Mastercard Foundation EdTech fellow. I didn't know this. You're a fellow?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you graduated or you're inside the fellowship?
I'm still in the fellowship.
Oh, you're in the fellowship. Okay. I know Pebi Cups, fantastic thing. I'll let you talk about it in a bit. Edward Akani is the partnership lead for ALX Ghana. He will tell me what ALX Ghana is. He's also an expert in EdTech and youth empowerment. Hey, you're a big man. You are Edward. Sorry, Edward Akani. You are an expert in EdTech and youth empowerment. I need some power, so you need to show me how to get it, since you're a youth empowerment expert. Edward, welcome to the show.
Thank you once again.
William Pius Akakbo.
Yeah.
He's wearing a very nice suit. You know the material corduroy. Yeah, corduroy. Charlie, nice. Very nice one. William Pius Akakbo is a digital literacy and ICT integration coordinator for Mastercard funded Leaders in Teaching project. Super. Richard was saying him. He's also been on the show before. Richard is the Group CEO of Coral Reef Innovation Africa, but he's also the co-founder of the National Digital Literacy Project. Welcome to the show as well.
Thank you.
Ladies first. So, Nyele, tell me more about the Pebi Cups and also what you do as a Mastercard EdTech fellow.
Thank you very much, Bernard, and thank
you
you for the opportunity to be on the show.
Wonderful.
So, Pebi Cups is all about getting children to love reading.
Yes, please.
Because the research is clear. When children love reading, they succeed in school and their future careers.
Wonderful.
And so, we are an EdTech that offers a fun, evidence-based, cost-effective literacy program that offers thousands of books as well as in-person programming to engage children to love reading so they succeed in school and beyond.
How long have you been running it?
And the past 7 years.
How's it going?
It's going well.
Amazing.
It's going well. In fact, this year is going very well because as part of the Mastercard Foundation EdTech Fellowship, we're able to extend our reach from Accra to all the ends of the country, as far as Bolgatanga, Wa, Navrongo, Ho, Takwa, and so on and so forth. We've been all around the country getting children to read.
I like it.
Mainly through training teachers to empower the children to read. And just 6 months between October and May this year, we were able to get the children to read and pass quizzes on 205,000 books.
Whoa.
So this is evidence that
Whoa.
when you're able to empower the teachers and train them to use EdTech, they can actually get a lot of learning outcomes.
There are some readers in my house.
Yes, I know.
I
need to come see those readers.
Sometimes I worry that they are too obsessed with getting points, but that's a different conversation. But you're also a Mastercard EdTech Fellow.
Yes, yes.
Can you talk to me about that briefly?
Yeah, so the MasterCard EdTech Fellowship is actually to engage the EdTech entrepreneurs in the country over a 3-year period. Started last year and ends in 2026.
Okay.
And just to empower the industry and to create that collaborative ecosystem that enables us to, as a country, to take advantage of all the resources available to improve learning outcomes. That's the ultimate goal.
Okay.
And being in this fellowship has been quite phenomenal because we've been able to collaborate across the sector. I actually know the panelists here because of the EdTech Fellowship, and actually been able to then have synergy to get things done in the EdTech space.
Thank you, Anyele. We'll talk more about what you do and how we can get our teachers to get more digitally savvy. Edward Akani, Partnership Lead ALX Ghana, an expert in EdTech and youth empowerment. So what is ALX Ghana, to start off with?
All right, thank you, Bernard, for this program and for being here. ALX is a digital skills and career accelerator program or platform. So basically what we do is to help young people with digital skills. We train people across different digital skills areas like software development, creative tech, digital marketing, Salesforce, and AWS courses as well. So we are basically that platform that helps young people to acquire the skills, and we also support startups, young people that want to build tech startups. We are able to support them through our programs as well. So that's pretty much what we do, and I lead partnerships at ALX. So prior to ALX, I worked on some digital projects funded by the World Bank and then also by MasterCard Foundation.
Wonderful.
And I mean, basically what we're trying to do is to just help young people with digital skills. So sometimes you have people that finish school or university. Some people don't know what to do next. There are people that are also unemployed and then they are thinking of what to do next. So we help them, we equip them with the skills they need to start businesses or to enhance their employability skills just so that they can get jobs.
When you say young people, what age bracket are we looking at?
So basically between 18 and 35, but we are quite flexible. Sometimes you have people that are beyond those ages and then they still want to acquire skills. So we've done training programs for young workers as well. We've done training programs for parents and all of that,
Amazing stuff. Let's come to Mr. Akakbo.
Yeah.
You are the Digital Literacy and ICT Integration Coordinator for MasterCard funded Leaders in Teaching project. It is a huge, like a whole thesis topic. So explain that in English. What does that mean?
Okay, so first of all, let me say that thank you once again. So first of all, let me say that I describe myself as a servant of EdTech.
Okay.
And so what it means is that for the various sectors of EdTech, I have a footprint in all the stages. Now, but digital literacy and ICT integration, basically, we are looking at how teachers acquire digital skills.
All right.
And how they are able to use them in the classroom.
Correct.
It's one thing having the skills, and there's another thing knowing how to use the skills.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, that is digital literacy and the ICT.
And what is the MasterCard funded Leaders in Teaching project?
Okay, so that is a project for the secondary schools in Ghana, which started in last year, 2024.
All right.
2023.
Okay.
To support teachers in the secondary schools to acquire digital skills, to be able to also use it in the classroom to improve teaching and learning. Yeah, so that is the purpose of the
And your job is the Digital Literacy and ICT Integration Coordinator for that project?
Yes.
Amazing.
So my responsibility is to ensure by the end of it, teachers have the digital skills and they are able to do without any difficulty.
Let's come to Richard Oseyenim. You are the Group CEO for Coral Reef Innovation Africa, and then also co-founder of the National Digital Literacy Project.
Yes, sir.
Which one would you talk about first?
Let me talk about the National Digital Literacy Project.
Correct.
And it was a partnership with the Ministry of Education and GES. We deployed about 45,000 devices across the country. 350 primary schools and 350 junior high schools. So if you go to any district now, you'll find at least one smart lab that we've deployed in a primary school or junior high school. So that was a project, I think we started in 2020, COVID hit, started actively rolling out around 2022. So every district now has that in place. We also train about 1,400 teachers. So the idea was the trainer model. You train 2 teachers in that school, and then they cascade the training down to, I think we are due for an M&E with the Ministry of Education and GS to see what has happened since you deploy these tools. So that's on that particular project. It was an interesting one because here's a government project. We had to look at how we pivot to a private sector project as well. So we developed Coral Reef Innovation, and specifically to look at projects around not just private schools, but also public schools. If you're looking at public schools, I keep getting the stats. I'm not sure what. One time they say it's 15,000 public schools, another time 20,000. I've lost the word, but let's say 15,000. We've done 700 schools, which is like a drop in the ocean.
Are these basic or secondary schools?
Basic. So you're looking at primary schools and junior high schools. Now that's a drop in the ocean in a sea of 15,000 schools.
Yeah.
Government can't afford to roll out all that. So from a Coral Reef perspective, we're partnering with CSR budgets of companies for impact education, high net worth individuals, Rotary, Lions, Zone, churches, synagogues.
Yet you standardize
Absolutely.
what they do, so it cuts across the same quality.
So you go on there, you deploy a smart lab. The teacher gets a laptop with a learning management system, classroom management system. Students get tablets, laptops, whatever
they have to use
based on budgets, either a Promethean board or a projector, storage units. In the rural areas, you are dealing with issues around connectivity. So we have, just like I said, we have what we call a content access point, where you put all the content on there. Irrespective of where you are, the devices can latch on and have access to content. So that's what we've been doing. We're in Ghana, we're in Nigeria, we're in South Africa and Eswatini, pursuing a Pan-African strategy.
Are the private sector people responding?
Private schools, and that's also an interesting point about teachers in private schools. My experience, yes, there's always an issue of budget. So we've launched something that is dealing with amortization of the cost over a period of time.
Correct.
We launched something called Lenarium, and it brings together a device with content, data, and insurance. And then it offers that a subscription service or a pay-as-you-go for parents and schools. So a school can get a hub that is financed by APSA on an installment basis, and parents can acquire those devices for their, and really what we our focus really is not on the devices. I mean, it's become a necessary evil. I was telling the wahala around bringing in devices and duties and forex exposure and so on. So we're like, look, how do we define devices that are fit for purpose?
Okay.
You know, people tend to be driven by brands. Can you, I'm not sure how the percentage you use of your phone, 10%, 20%, whatever. Can you actually deploy a device that deals with a specific, what you got, not Core i7 when you really need maybe a Core i3 and so on. So that's what we've been doing, and we're looking at building an ecosystem that brings together. I'm a MasterCard EdTech fellow as well. So yeah, thanks to MasterCard, we're looking at expanding our services across.
So you guys are all doing some fantastic work in the space. So it's a good basis to start. Now, let's start with William. Why is digital literacy critical for today's teacher? And how does it impact a student's learning outcome? So it's a two-in-one question.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to say that digital literacy is critical in today's classroom.
Okay.
It's not just about knowing how to use computers. It's about making technology to make learning more engaging, inclusive, and effective. By this, we can have digitally literate teachers who would make on their own, create interactive lessons, are able to track student progress in their classroom, and are able to connect learners to global knowledge, which is key in the modern world of today. This directly improves student outcomes. Learners become more engaged, motivated, and better prepared for the digital world in which we are today.
Sorry, that's a very serious answer. If this was a quiz, I would have said you are right. I can't challenge because the way you take the thing past engaging, inclusive. Hey, You really research the answer, pal.
Oh.
So basically, you're saying that it makes teachers more effective, it makes learning more effective, it makes the student more effective. Everybody benefits.
Exactly. So, I mean, simply we can just say that empowering teachers with digital skills to empower students for the future.
So, Anyele, you know, I'm a bit old. I remember last year, before the election, we got some guys come and train us on Excel, right? Because we needed to do some calculation. So here I was in my early 40s with some fresh university graduates. Charlie, when they are doing the training there, they will just do some equations and I'm confused.
Yeah.
Then the screen will just change.
Do you know there's a global competition for Excel? What do you call it?
So I'm asking myself, is it possible to train somebody like me? So when the Susu and those guys were doing the calculation, sometimes I have to go back to the team and say, please, how did you get this thing? And I'm supposed to be a first class student.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't sit up, but I persisted. So what I'm saying is that teachers, a lot of them, they've been trained, they have done their teaching and stuff. Now you say you want to train them. It's not easy. You train teachers to do your thing. Talk to me about training teachers, particularly in the edtech tools, because some of them were born before computer. Some were born with computer.
Yes. You're right. I mean, learning anything new can be challenging, and it requires, first of all, having the mindsets that you want to learn, and that sometimes becomes the first significant challenge. You know, trying to get out of our comfort zones, or getting teachers out of their comfort zones to want to learn something new. And something new that they can actually apply that would improve their work, improve their learning outcomes. And so the paradigm shifts that it is necessary. In the age we live in, we have so many resources we can actually use to accelerate learning outcomes. So that paradigm shift, getting the teachers to have that paradigm shift is, first of all, I think one of the main roadblocks to actually getting EdTech implemented in schools. Of course, then we have access to devices, access to the resources, access to internet. You know, because when you have the devices, then you can use them. But if you don't have the devices or the internet, the infrastructure is not there for you to be able to actually adopt EdTech tools. And then having the suitable training, of course, you know, is very important, because the training doesn't just have to be what would inform you. It should empower you to use it. So in our case, we're able to give training to the teachers using distance education on Zoom, and then to practically follow up with them to make sure that they were using it and whenever they had a challenge. So communication between the trainer and ongoing support is very important. It can be a one-off training that then after 2 days you're supposed to go and you're on your own, go and figure it out. It has to be some follow-up and some service where you're able to keep on, you know, if you have any challenges, you can go, you can get the solutions to those challenges. That enabled us to get teachers who we never seen, who were thousands of kilometers away from us, to actually be able to use the service that we offer to get children to read, and the children read so much over the period.
So the experiment worked as a case study.
Yes.
Richard, talk to me on whether you can share any examples of successful teacher training programs, whether in Ghana or globally, that are preparing our educators for the tech era.
Okay, so a lot of our work has been, you really need to get the teacher right, because it's really the fulcrum, the access to the student. If you don't get the teacher right, and we come across all sorts of teachers that have fantastic mindsets and teachers that need a lot of work on their mindsets, and these are all teachers in classrooms. For the digital literacy project, we rolled out something called Ambassadors of Innovation, and it's a 3-month exercise purely on the Intel Skills for Innovation. We're partners of Intel in Ghana, so the Skills for Innovation, which prepares students with prepares teachers with the digital skills required to deploy coding robotics in schools. Then the other one was Intel Master Coaches. What we're preparing students really for is to give them the tool sets and the skills to solve local problems using stuff like AI, coding, robotics, and so on. So it could be around anything around health, finance. These are projects they design and go on to international competitions and so on. So Intel has been a strong partner in that for us here on the Ambassadors for Innovation program, Skills for Innovation, and the Master Coach program. You've got a program for HP as well. And over a period of 143 days, they send you emails on a constant basis.
Wow.
Gradually, what they're trying to build fluency, digital fluency, AI fluency with a teacher. Cambridge Education also have a project for teachers that we're able to deploy as well. So my biggest challenge with all these things that come from Silicon Valley and all those places, how do you indigenize that for our local African context? And I think there's a lot of work that we need to do as edtech companies and in the space to make sure that what is a parallelogram to somebody in Pumpurubu? For instance, if you're deploying an LLM, GPUs, and all those things, what does that mean? So how do we indigenize that? And for content especially, how do we make the content in our local languages? And so I know there's a group in Legon doing some work on that. So there are various programs. The only gap is indigenizing it and localizing it for our context.
Let me end this first segment with Edward. So I'm back to the problem, right? How does limited access to digital tools and infrastructure affect the teacher's ability to integrate technology in education? So that's question one. And number two, any initiatives that are addressing this?
Okay. So Bernard, you mentioned a few minutes ago about bringing in some people to do like an Excel training for the team, And you'd all agree with me that teaching, just like any other profession, requires continuous professional development, which industry calls CPDs. And these CPDs are facilitated by digital tools and platforms. And so the limited access of digital tools creates a gap in the upskilling and professional development of teachers. The absence of these tools make it difficult for teachers to improve themselves. And then secondly, there's also the gap where you have teachers having challenges demonstrating or experimenting things. There are times that when you're teaching, you need to show the students some things like practical use cases of what you're teaching. And then the absence of these tools creates gaps in there. You're not able to demonstrate to industry standards. And then finally, you can talk of limited access to content. With the right digital tools and infrastructure, teachers are able to research, undertake more innovation into content that brings innovation as well as creates exposure for these students. So, in terms of initiatives that are addressing this, I remember in 2021 there was an initiative, one teacher, one laptop. I don't know if that initiative is still running, but I think that would have been a very interesting initiative to address some of these.
Because that's the question. The question we don't have the answer for.
Yeah, so interestingly, I mean, the initiative was to have government cater for 70% of the cost of laptops for teachers, and then the teachers can take care of the 30% through their fund. So that is an initiative that would have been very exciting. And then it's one that I came across, the Ghana Accountability for Learning Outcomes project. And this was a project that was co-funded by the World Bank and then DFID, that's Department for International Development. And basically there was an edtech component there where they were teaching students, having training sessions for teachers on the ICT use cases, as well as an LMS. And so these are initiatives that I think would go a long way to help teachers in the digital schools, digital tools. And then finally, even programs like this to drive meaningful conversations, to drive conversations that would basically like give teachers the exposure that they need to initiate policies and stuff like that.
In your experience, are teachers demanding for this type of training? So is it a demand-led thing, or are we the ones pushing it on them? Because what I'm asking is because when I read the news, I hear teachers always want to go for courses. They want to go and do masters or something so they can be promoted, and they write promotion exams. But I don't know if they want I don't know what they are learning. Whether these are because I think these are the things they should be learning. But I don't know if you're able to even track what teachers are interested in developing themselves in. Are you able to?
I think it's I would say that it should be something that both teachers and then even administrators should be interested in. It shouldn't be left for teachers alone. And if you're a teacher and you really care about impacting the lives of the students, you'll be interested in some of these things. How can you help someone with the skill sets that they need, that in the next few years they could become a president, they could become someone great, and then you look back and see that your impact has led to this person to become what he or she is. So I would say that just like the teachers, the administrators also should invest in some of these things. It shouldn't be left to teachers alone. Teachers should have the mindsets, number one, they should be willing to learn, but administrators should also invest in some of these tools to make sure that the teachers get the skills, the upskilling that they need to do.
Wonderful. This is EdTech Monday. We're live on 97.3 Citi FM. Is brought to us by the MasterCard Foundation. Of course, put together by MEST, Meltwater Entrepreneurial School for Technology. In studio, Anyele Pebi, founder and CEO of Pebi Caps. She's also a MasterCard EdTech Fellow. Edward Akani is the partnership lead for ALX Ghana, an expert in EdTech and youth empowerment. William Pius Akakbo is in a nice big suit. He's a digital literacy and ICT integration coordinator for MasterCard funded Leaders in Teaching project. And Richard Osenim is the co-founder of the National Digital Literacy Project and the group CEO for Coral Reef Innovation Africa, doing some fantastic things in schools. All right, so let's come to my next round of questions. And for that, I'm going to start with William. How are EdTech innovations creating more engaging and effective learning experiences for teachers, William?
Yeah, so thanks to MasterCard Foundation again, I would take examples from the EdTech Fellowship Program.
Good.
We have a number of startup companies. I had the opportunity to support a number of the EdTech companies in the first cohort. So let's take, for instance, Dex Technologies. Dex Technologies is into
Dext, D-E-X-T.
Yeah.
Technologies.
Good. Are into science kits. And so this is doing wonders in the classroom.
Yep.
Now, science is no more fiction, it is now practice in the classroom.
Yes.
And so that is one of the innovations we would say has come to support teachers and learners, to support teachers to improve learning outcomes for learners. Again, we have Pebi Caps supporting reading, or I would say improving reading within the educational system. Again, we have Deaf Can Talk, which is for an inclusive, supporting us on the inclusivity when it comes to people with disabilities in the classroom. You have a case where you have a deaf child in a classroom learning with other students who can read, but here the deaf learner would get access to a mobile app that could translate audio into text, where the deaf person can read and understand what exactly is happening in the classroom. And so these are some of the innovations that teachers would, they have access to, and they can avail themselves to these kind of technologies to, again, be able to improve learning outcome. More importantly, EdTech ensures professional development, not just through workshops, but it brings mentorship, collaboration, and real-time feedback right to teachers' fingertips. Thank you.
Let's talk about strategies we can implement to scale digital training programs for teachers across both urban and rural areas. So you've mentioned how we need to localize some of the global things, but now we're focused on what is working on a small scale that we can scale up. So I'm sort of changing your train of thought now.
Yeah. The very first, everybody's talked about mindsets. I think it's fundamental in this conversation. Did you know that teachers and the public schools system are given 1,200 Ghana cedis, I think, a year for CPD?
Continuous professional development.
Yep. Where does it go to? That's something that can be looked at. In terms of infrastructure, how do you build clusters? So, for instance, we got 700 schools that have devices. How do you utilize? Because the kids are in school from 8 to
now I think 3.
So, how do you design a program that teachers can go use those devices after 3 to 5? In several. It's 24-hour economy now. How can you extend engagements in there? So infrastructure is key. In rural areas, the issues with offline access. So now, I've just seen a pilot where you can transform any device into an AI-enabled device just by plugging in a dongle. Okay, these are some of the techniques that are being deployed now. And also, when you talk about how you deploy the content, you can deploy content on WhatsApp, full modules of learning and training can be deployed on. I think we need to move away from the conventional ways of deploying content, using these clusters, using offline angles, and also devices that can take modules that have been defined for them in WhatsApp, for instance. Yeah. And the CPD, I mean, this has to be driven from a policy perspective. It cannot just be demand-led. So you've got 350,000 teachers that are in the system. Then you've got another set in training colleges. I think it's important for us to start these conversations in training colleges. So if you're going to look at their curriculum now, if automation is getting rid of jobs, appending jobs, and so on, innovation is bringing all these types of opportunities. Are you training your students with the right sort of skills that prepares them for the future of work? Go and look at the curriculum now. I mean, look at the World Economic Forum, talking about creativity, problem solving, innovation, and all these things. And compare it to our curriculum and see whether it's fit for purpose to prepare students for the future of work. And infrastructure is key, mindset is key, and tuning the CPD points. I mean, for teachers, if it's CPD points and it's there's some sort of value that can be derived from it, I think they will champion this course.
If you're a teacher listening to us, let's hear from you. Send us a WhatsApp 054-9986-996. How interested are you in some of these opportunities to learn more within the edtech space? Your CPD, as you people call it, your continuous professional development. How are you channeling it to add value to yourself so it can be more useful to your students? If you have any questions on any of the programs we're discussing, please send me a WhatsApp. I'll be happy to read them to my guests. Let me come back to Edward. So, how can partnerships between edtech organizations, schools, and government support sustainable teacher training in technology?
All right. I'll start with the edtech organizations like ELX. We are very much data and AI-oriented organization. I mean, when you pick up your phone wherever you go these days, you hear about AI and all of that. So I think one of the key things that teachers should be mindful of, as well as administrators, I keep mentioning administrators because I mean they are the people that run the schools. I think it's very important for them to look at avenues where AI and data can be leveraged to help teachers. And ELX has a series of courses or programs that we can partner with schools to help their teachers adopt some of these strategies. For example, when you pick ChatGPT, a lot of people just go in there, put in something, and then they get information. But there's a lot you can actually use with ChatGPT. A lot of things that, as a teacher, you can leverage. Apart from ChatGPT, a lot of AI and digital tools. I think it's essential that teachers have training on these things just to help with their research and innovation as well. And then I think there's a company called Opportunity International EduFinance. It's an NGO based in the US, and I think they're doing a lot of work in Africa with some schools. They provide some kind of financial support and technical assistance for schools to help them with teacher programs, infrastructure, and all of that. So teachers and then administrators should be able to take advantage of some of these opportunities, partnering with NGOs to get some grants for infrastructure, to run some programs that would enhance the teachers' capabilities as well. And finally, I think policy, government should be able to engage edtech stakeholders as well as the schools and teachers to understand what's very important. And initiatives like the One Teacher, One Laptop is one thing that I think will be interesting to delve into, as well as the Ghana Accountability for Learning Outcomes project should also be looked into as well.
That's the Gallup project.
The Gallup project.
How important is continuous professional development for teachers in staying updated with edtech advancements? I think we've sort of hinted, but let me still take your comments on this.
So I think various people have commented on this already. It's absolutely essential. It's not a one-off thing. Continuous professional development is what would keep just up to date, especially with tech. Tech is evolving continuously, and even for those in the tech industry, we have to continuously be updating ourselves on the new things that are being introduced and how relevant it is in our space. So definitely teachers do need that so that they can actually make sure that they maximize the time they have, they maximize the resources they have, and have the optimal output when it comes to learning outcomes.
We're in an era of inclusion, so whatever you're doing now, people need to discuss this. So William, how can edtech leaders ensure that their teacher training programs are inclusive and address the needs of diverse educators?
So like I cited earlier on, edtech companies need to be diverse right from the onset in designing their edtech products.
All right.
Once that is done, I mean, 50% of the problem is solved. So again, we also need to consider the platform. The platform must be mobile friendly, low data accessibility, whereby, because if you take those in the rural areas, they may not have the necessary infrastructures in terms of data and all that. So all these things needs to be considered. Multilingual applications. As part of the EdTech Fellows, we have Aya Prep, who is, using Ghanaian language to teach in mathematics.
Wow.
Which would help people in the rural communities who may not really understand English fluently, can use some of these applications to be able to improve their learning outcome. So we need more flexible format, online, offline, blended teaching and learning. We can also have self-paced learning approaches, and all that combined, we need to be more integrative in the kind of approaches and platforms we use in designing our programs.
We'll take some policy prescriptions shortly, but let me hear from the public. A couple of people have been interviewed on this already. Here's our Vox Pop segment.
In my experience, most schools or most teachers who find themselves in the rural areas do not have these digital enablers, hence they do not have the capabilities to go about these digital tools. With the schools located in the urban areas, we realize that teachers are able to manipulate or maneuver their way. For teachers to be effective and proficient in EdTech, they should be trained in tools such as Google Workspace, Microsoft 365, and how to use classroom management systems. The emergence of technology has made teaching and learning easy. Teachers are able to meet students at their various points of needs, and students are able to learn from anywhere at all, so far as they have access to an EdTech device. The major challenges faced by teachers in EdTech are: 1, lack of access to electricity, lack of access to internet or stable internet connectivity, and 3, lack of access to EdTech tools or devices. In order for teachers to thrive in this EdTech era, training is very essential.
In my opinion, there has been some advancements with regards to teachers' readiness for the digital classroom. The digital competencies that teachers need most are divided into 2 parts. We have the hardware, and then we have the software. Under the hardware, teachers must be able to operate some of our digital tools like computers, scanners, voice production tools. And under the software, we have skills such as data processing, cloud computing, knowing how to do basic graphics designing, knowing how to use data entry processing software such as Microsoft to enhance efficient and effective teaching and learning in the classroom. Technology affects teaching and learning in many ways. For the teacher, teaching becomes very simple. Converting concepts become also exciting. And for the learner, learning becomes more exciting and engaging. Some of the major challenges teachers face with regards to using EdTech tools include access to electricity and access to stable internet connectivity. Teachers can thrive in this EdTech era if given access to industry exposure, teacher exchange programs, and training, and more training.
We're discussing how to prepare our teachers the EdTech way. Teachers in tech, training educators for digital success is our topic. EdTech Monday is a platform for EdTech entrepreneurs, education stakeholders, and government reps to facilitate critical conversations on the use of technology for teaching and learning. An initiative of the MasterCard Foundation. This is under the Regional Center for Innovative Teaching and Learning. It's part of the foundation's strategy to find solutions to Africa's youth employment by closing the gap in access to quality education and advancing the integration of tech in education policies and practices across Africa. My guests are 4. Anyele Pebi, founder and CEO of Perby Caps, Mastercard Foundation EdTech Fellow. Edward Akani is a partnership lead for ALX Ghana, an expert in EdTech and youth empowerment. Pius William Akakbu, Digital Literacy and ICT Integration Coordinator for Mastercard Founded Leaders in Teaching Project. And last but not least, Richard Osei, named Group CEO, Coral Reef Innovation and co-founder of the National Digital Literacy Project. I'm going to give each of you a minute or two to give me policy recommendations or your big take home. But let me just read 2 comments before we do that. Bernard, do they have training programs for teachers in remote areas? If yes, how do we access them? Is there an ongoing program for teachers in ICT? This is somebody from Sakumono. Who's going to answer this one?
I'll take this one.
Go ahead.
So I think ALX has an amazing platform for not just teachers, but I mean everybody can access our platform. And we have what we call the AI and Career Essentials, which I think will be very interesting for teachers, where they learn how to leverage on data and AI in teaching, and then improving their teaching abilities and capabilities as well. So just log into the ALX platform, alxafrica.com, and then you should see the courses.
Will this work for rural people too?
I mean, as long as you have internet, you should be able to do that. The internet is the infrastructure bit that I think government can come in and support with. But
are you sure everybody has internet? Are these trainings virtual?
Yeah, they are virtual. Yeah, online. Yeah.
I see. The way the person is asking the question, the person says remote areas. Do you know what the remote area is?
Kwafre in Kranza, deep
or
farm somewhere.
Would you have something for them?
I mean, you would have to access it via, you either go to a center and download it, or if you can get 2G, 3G type kind of access, then you can deploy some content to you. But what I in terms of, is it my turn to talk about policy?
No, okay. I thought you were responding to the question.
Yeah, okay. So if you go on our platform as well, coralreefgh.com, you can access our Lenarium platform. It's actually in beta test test mode, but you can play around with some of the stuff that we have there.
Hi, Ben. Mr. Kakpo taught me some courses in my undergraduate education. He's a solid guy, Edward in Tesano, so that's a good one. Let's take closing comments, recommendations, starting with Richard.
Okay. I think if you look at the structure of our public sector education, a lot of the schools tend to form in the bottom of the pyramid. They'll either be in rural areas or hard to reach areas and so on. So how do you deal with access, equity and inclusion in those spaces? And I think that's where policy makers, government and stakeholders need to think about. The other thing is infrastructure. We've talked about, there's actually a trust deficit with teachers when it comes to these laptop for teachers and because the kind of devices sometimes they get is not fit for purpose. So how do you reinstall the trust in teachers with fit for purpose devices that can be amortized over a period of time? And then finally, when you look at, just last night reflecting on this topic, I chanced on something that the profile of an AI-ready graduate must be a learner, a researcher, a synthesizer, an ideator, a connector, and a storyteller.
Hey, can you repeat that? The profile of an AI-ready graduate must be what?
A learner, a researcher, a synthesizer, an ideator, a connector, and a storyteller. So you are preparing students to go into an industry 4.0 paradigm. You, the teacher, are you fit for purpose with these sorts of skills that you need to deploy? And how best can we support teachers and build their capacity, fill all those gaps that they are encountering to be relevant to the student in this new paradigm?
I love it. Learner, researcher, synthesizer, ideator, connector, storyteller. If this is what the student should be, then what the teacher has to be more. Right? Any policy recommendations, Angeli, as we wrap up?
Yes, so I know while we talk about challenges in terms of infrastructure and access to internet, we still do have quite a our mobile penetration rates, our internet penetration rates is improving. And so the question is, what are we doing where we have internet? And where internet exists, where we have devices, what are we doing with those? And so I think that we need to look at an industry, education industry, on more collaboration within the industry. What governments can do, what private sector can do, what the foundations can do. Because sometimes you actually end up having the internet available, and you have some company, CSR has built a lab and there's no content. And so there's not enough of a free flow of information on where the needs are and where the gaps are. And so things like the Mastercard Foundation EdTech Fellowship, which brings together EdTech entrepreneurs, as well as engages the government as well, helps to actually make sure that we are able to use what we do have to experience synergy within the sector. So I'm looking forward to seeing more collaboration across corporate institutions, EdTech entrepreneurs, policymakers, to make sure that with what we have, we can actually build on that. And we have companies doing training programs for teachers. We have companies who are deploying hardware. We have the internet available. But can these all come together? And we need that catalyst to make it happen. And
wonderful. Let me come to William. What are your closing thoughts? Any policy recommendations?
Yeah, so I'm sure my colleagues have already mentioned a lot of the key issues in terms of policy. But again, for me, one key area is we still need to build the foundations properly, because we have situations whereby sometimes if you hear AI, it's as if AI, just jumped out of the blue like yesterday or 2023. But artificial intelligence started all the way, 1956. But we are now talking about artificial intelligence. So how many years behind are we? Talk about robotics. Robotics started in in the 20th century, but its first was originated in 1954. But again, today we talk about robotics as if it's now coming up about 2020. So we need to build a foundation such that we can keep building on it. So I would suggest, let us understand as a country what we are really doing into the edtech space. If you take India and you meet them, in any part of this world, they are doing technology or law. But if you meet our people, they are, interested in health. How do you call it?
What? Medicine?
No, not medicine. Health work.
Nurses.
Those exactly. Which you ask yourself, when are we going to get people to that level? Again, training is very, very important. Teachers are receiving CPD money or allowances. Are those running CPD programs for them interested in just collecting those monies from them because they know teachers have the money, or the trainings are being designed such that it's fit for purpose?
All right.
Thank you.
Let me end where I started. Edward.
Yeah, I think for me it would be the one teacher, one laptop initiative. I don't know where it stands now, but I think it would be very interesting for government to pick that conversation up. Also engage the different stakeholders to understand different models for financing as well, because that's like a very key area. And then also looking at how AI and then data can be infused into teaching, because at the end of the day, without data, you cannot make the impact that you really want to make. So those are the two things for me.
And those are the nuggets from our panel members for today's edition of EdTech Monday on teachers in the tech era. Now, just if somebody to get in touch with you, is there any number? I just want to make it easy. Perby Caps, you have a website. How can book in touch with you?
Yes, perbycaps.com. You can reach out to us there.
So it's PERBICUBS.
Yes.
Perbycaps.com.
Yes, or on our social media handles at PerbyCabs, or on the phone number 055 2477 243. 055 2477 243.
All right, what about Richard?
So you can go to our website, coralreefgh.com. Coralreefgh.com. The same for our handles, Facebook, Instagram, and the number you can reach 0506 311 053.
Okay.
0506 311 053.
William, how can people get in touch with you?
Through my number 0249 499 338.
All right.
Or through KO Technologies
Through what?
Cure Technologies.
Cure Technologies.
Yes.
CURE.
Yes.
Technologies.
Yeah.
All right. Are you on social media?
Yes.
Cure Technologies.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And Edward?
So on social media, ALX Ghana, LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere, you can just get to ALX Ghana and send a message, or you can reach me via my number 055-5585-985. And
okay.
Email as well, eakani@alxafrica.com.
All right, interesting conversation on how our teachers will become EdTech ready. The conversation will continue online. Don't forget, this program was brought to you by the MasterCard Foundation, Regional Center for Innovation or Innovative Learning and Teaching, as part of their strategy to find Africa's youth employment gap close significantly. MEST was also part of this. They put this together, Meltwater team, and of course the Citi Breakfast Show. Stay with us.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
One step at a time, no need to rush. 4 minutes to 10. Monday morning is the last day of June 2025. And we're just loving the Citi Breakfast Show today. Taking things easy on a Monday morning. And praying that July will be much better than June was. What a great month it's been. The Citi Business Festival has been awesome. Recommended an article for you, 12 management lessons from the festival on citinewsroom.com. Get to read it. Yeah, it was really fantastic with our two big fora on trade, tariffs, and the other on agriculture. Our 3-day agri fair was amazing. And of course, we had our honest series as well, focusing on many areas. I don't know what the highlight has been for you for the month of June.
No, I loved the Agri Fair.
Oh my God.
Good one.
Oh my God.
In fact, I'm thinking of some farming things, after
Yeah.
that. It was a good experience.
Yeah.
A lot of learning experience on air as well, on how to do farming and all of that. So
you have been planting for people plant for food and jobs. You plant for flowers and for fun.
Pleasure.
Planting for flowers and fun.
Yes,
that's yours.
No, I just need to tweak it a bit and add food to it, and we are good to go.
Yeah.
Some of the established farms have some acres, so you can deal with them. They cultivate them for you, and at the end of the day, they update you on all that goes on. Yep. So it's all something that's up for consideration. I think that the push for agric was quite interesting because thinking about it, every day we eat morning, afternoon, evening, and in between that we snack too, and all that is someone growing it, whatever it is, wherever it's coming from. Once you buy, you're giving someone employment. So it's important to think deeply about the farming and also participate in the value chain as well.
More of those.
So June was a big push for agric for me, and I'm really looking forward to it. And plus, lots of love on my birthday, which I'm still appreciating.
Oh yes.
It was a good one.
You enjoyed your birthday.
I had a blast.
The next one will be even better.
I'm looking forward to it.
We pray so.
Thank you for making it amazing as well.
You're a big man. You're a big man. Melody Fafa Potife is just laughing. She's here with the news. Charlie, just happy. Melodious Melody. What's in the news today?
Hello and welcome to City News at 10. I am Melody Fafa Potife. Coming up, Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners demands coordinated efforts to crack down on illegal mining amid alleged extortion by security operatives. And former Gayhawk Managing Director Maxwell Kofi Juma still in custody after having been arrested by national security operatives in Kumasi. The details.